that I figure out and move and stuff.
I'm not a fan. The amount of times I've opened up Reels and just had like some like crap on it.
Reels. Why is Reels purple?
Bad.
Pretty poopy. Oh,
Why change something that's like not broken? And that's what gets me.
4 days ago I got four. The Amanda law. Why change something that's not broken? Exactly. This is episode 1 of the Why Change Something That's Not Broken podcast.
It's like when they changed their, what was it, GCSEs, and everyone kicked off. To be fair, loads of people were getting these stars, like kind of.
Oh, what, like them weird number system?
Yeah, they changed the number system, didn't they? But I think it was something like everyone, like it was not easy, but it was like a lot of students. So you'd have like like say our school's like a pretty alright school. Like most students who were like putting some effort got an A star basically, which I don't think they really wanted. They wanted to differentiate like the super duper A stars from like they just scraped an A stars basically.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which yeah, I don't mind. I don't even remember my GCSE results. I think because we had numbers in what was it, English and maths in my year. I think you got away scot free, didn't you? Your year.
Yeah.
You did get the new A level though, didn't you?
Really cool. No, we didn't.
Or was that the year? So I got a new A level as well, but I don't know how new it was.
This is a really interesting brush. So let's just make the brush really big, which is going to take like 5 years apparently. Because it goes up literally a pixel at a time. I wish it didn't, but it does. Might be a way to change it, I wouldn't know. Is and the Zorn study? I guess we could. I guess we could silhouette the dude. Can you do me a favor?
Could I? Maybe, if you're lucky.
Just check my audio.
I sure can.
It's been a while since I've streamed and I'm not entirely confident that.
Oh wait, I've got an ad from Amazon Prime.
You got an ad. Amazing, good. Making me that money.
I wish, right? You get targeted, that's what you've been searching for, right? So they'll track you for that. But when you've bought something, like you have Prime Video, it'd be nice if they just stopped advertising it.
You'd assume that they'd be able to track that as well.
What was that?
You'd assume they'd be able to track that as well.
Yeah, if you can track what I'm searching, you can track what I bought, and you can stop advertising me that stuff. Yeah, the audio is fine.
That makes sense to me. Can't get that meme out of my head.
It's such a good meme, isn't it? Very well made.
It's quite blendy at the moment. You turn the blend down. That's too low. That's a good ground. I don't know who my one viewer is. Probably Commander Root, right?
Or me.
Or you. But Interesting. I don't know how messy we should start with this.
Do I miss
No, not really. I'm not.
going in to a college lesson with a new idea of something to paint and pitching it to Miss Mills and Mr. Formella, getting them excited about it, and then like, let's get the canvas out the storeroom, and then let's print it off, get into the computer room, print it off, let's grid it up, let's go.
Yeah, right, that's what you remember.
Yeah, because it's like it's like
It's like me hacking your clear study.
yeah, it's like they hype you up, don't they? They're like, oh my god, yeah, let's get it going, let's get the ball rolling. I can't wait. And each lesson, like, you've done a bit more because you spent like your 3 periods doing it, and they're like, whoa. No, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
It's such a good feeling, that. Kind of miss that.
Oh, we can get that feeling back.
I mean, we kind of do have that feeling when we do like studies and that. But there was nothing like, getting to the computer room, getting it printed off, getting it, doing photoshopping it all together. I remember once I didn't even know Photoshop. What was I trying to do? I was trying to Photoshop like a wolf's head onto something, and I couldn't do it for the life of me. Like, I was really I just didn't know what I was doing, and I spent like 2-3 periods trying to do it, and I couldn't do it. And Mr. Formella came in to kick me out because he had a lesson in there, and I was like, "Sir, I don't have to do this. I've been trying for like 2 lessons." And he comes in and does it in like 5 minutes, and my mind was blown. I was like, oh my giddy odd. That was insane.
I was never very impressed. I don't want to slander the good name of Pete Formella, but obviously you were using Photoshop like only since you come to uni.
Yeah.
A little bit before. I was basically using Photoshop in my free time to edit silly photos for like a couple of years. So
yeah, I wasn't much of a whiz.
I wasn't very impressed with Mr. Formella's.
Oh, I see. I wasn't really a whiz when it came down to that stuff. So I was really impressed. Taken aback, you could say.
You could say that. I don't really. This is a really horrific game.
You only just believe in started.
I'm filled with existential dread that it will go wrong.
I'm trying to think about other things I miss about college. I guess. That's mostly the art stuff. Actually, I miss Mr. Harris, right?
You told me about your
Yeah, he was a. We both knew I was crap at chemistry, but he was just a really nice guy. Nonetheless. But I felt like some teachers, if they knew they were bad at your subject, like, they just didn't care. In a way, they're like, "Oh, you're bad. Well, I didn't really want to waste my time." But Mr. Harris was like, "Well, you're bad."
Well, you're bad.
You're bad, but it doesn't mean you're a bad person, kind of deal.
Like, as long as you're trying.
Yeah, because I was in his room at most lunch times, like doing like past papers and trying and that. And he was like, "Well, that's like all you can do, really, isn't it?" It's like, give it your best shot.
I suppose it is.
And lovely guy.
I don't know if you can tell, but I'm just sitting here doing a hat to avoid doing a face. It's a nice little hat though so far.
Mm.
And as well, what kind of hatch shenanigans were you on?
I do remember in art actually. I think it was a sergeant study I did. I don't know if I can find it.
You did a
I
sergeant
base
at A level.
yeah. I basically did I. Who was it? No, it
Right,
wouldn't
it
have been
really,
sergeant.
really saddens me that in A level they told us about that stinky Liverpool artist who like collages faces together or whatever. If I had known about John Singer Sargent's existence at A level, because I had no idea who that guy was at the time,
Mm.
I would have been studying him all day.
Yeah.
But I didn't. They didn't tell
So
me.
I don't think it was sergeant. Anyway, it was somebody else that I was studying. And basically, the dilemma I had was I needed it done for the next day, and it was like 10 p.m. And I'd realised I'd left all my paints at college, so I didn't have anything at home to paint with, and I had one like brush that my dad used to paint the wall, and some like leftover gouache or something. I was just like, crap, I'm a bit screwed. I did it anyway, and there wasn't a lot of paint left either. Like there was like literally like a few drips in the bottom of the tube, um, and I did it, and then Miss Mills was like, "This is like one of the best paints you've ever done." But she was like, "It's just so direct," because obviously I was so low on paint. It was like I had to only use like I was limited to like probably about 50 brush strokes for like the entire painting.
That's perfect. That's like super sergeant, isn't it?
Yeah, and then so I did that, and then she was like, "Yeah, this is like one of the best paintings you've ever done." I'm just like, oh.
You know what, Sakuga Sensei? I think Corel Painter would be right up your alley because it's very traditional looking, and you said you wanted to try like traditional areas or whatever. This is it. This is it, my friend. You hear nothing at full volume. Are you sure? I was told that my
Yeah,
audio
have you got the tab muted?
got streamed. Oh, Sakuga Sensei wouldn't mute me.
I do.
You mute me.
Well, this is fun. I haven't done like animal designs in a while. I haven't even painted animals in a while. It's been since college that I did animals, one fur at a time.
One piece of air or something. Absolutely classic.
Get rid of that. And delete that. One fur at a time.
I do use Y finger to paint, your finger to paint. I know you use your finger to paint, which is why I'm thinking that this would be a better option. I don't know how you taught you so with your finger paint. You know, it feels good, man. It feels like I'm going back to my roots, you know.
Yeah.
You can't hear me. Sakura Sensei can't hear me. Can you check my audio again?
Yeah. But I have my I have my audio settings on my computer adjusted so I can hear you because you're the only person I ever talk to on Discord. So
Even slightly. Tyrant can hear me. Can you hear me fine, Tyrant, or am I really quiet? I'm trying to identify whether or not this is a Sakura Sensei problem. Just a bit quieter. Okay. Let me just add a little bit of gain. How's that? I've added like 6 decibels on. Is that good? Just tell me if it's too loud. I'll adjust accordingly. You heard of Corel Painter and you want to try it out. You know what? There might be a way. Oh no, you're not on PC. If you were on PC, I could literally give you my product key and you could try it. But you have to have it. Not gonna happen. Sadly. I think this would be right down your alley. Constantly sending you oil painting and that kind of thing. Look, you can't see the top right of my screen. Up here, because you literally have a mixing section where you can put down 2 colors and literally start mixing. Or whatever, and then you can grab. You can just grab it, and then down here you can paint with that color that we just made. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, like oil paint, but I am a lazy artist. I'm just going to use the color. Maybe I'll discipline myself enough to be able to use the color mixer eventually.
Well, it makes it look really nice. I guess you could have it in Photoshop. You just have to have it like in the corner of your canvas or something. But it doesn't feel like the same. Actually, there is a color mixer on Photoshop. What am I saying? I swear there is.
There is, yeah. It's just not as good.
Cool. Where is it? Is it in swatches? No. What would it be called? Layer comps? No. Or is it like an extension? Workspace. Oh. Oh, there's also, if you go to arrange, what is it? I think it's arrange, or is it workspace? I think you go to workspace and put new workspace. You can have 2. I used to do this. I don't really do it too much anymore because I don't really zoom in. But you can have 2 different documents open that are exactly the same, so you can zoom in on one and the other one doesn't zoom in.
That seems useful because I have 2 monitors, so I could actually.
Yeah, so you can have like the full one on one monitor and then the zoomed in one on the other. But I don't really zoom in anymore, so.
It's going okay, Ends. How are you doing? I'm not very good how to do brush strokes anymore because it's so long since I've had to paint traditionally. Like I painted traditionally in life drawing, but it's oh, it's very different. You actually have the danger of your colours and values getting muddy because the colours actually mix properly as if it's paint.
You actually have to be.
You have to
careful.
actually be careful here. And it's kind of irreversible because, you know, if I get a really horrible muddy value on there, and then
Not like you can wait for it to dry.
you could just
Oh,
like, spam over it like that to erase it.
Do you reckon there's a
It wouldn't be
feature where you can dry the canvas and then paint over it? There must be something where you can dry the
yeah.
canvas.
So you can show the oil paint panel. Well, you could just paint on it with no wetness, and that'll put a dry stroke on top. I'm pretty sure, or it won't mix colours. Something like that.
Because if you, I guess, because if you're just waiting until the paint's dry, if you get what I mean, because like that's why acrylics, obviously, you just wait 5 minutes till it's dry and then just slap over it again.
Yeah. So. But I'm really liking that way. You're enjoying Photoshop like a normal artist. Stinky.
What even is Photoshop?
Nothing wrong with your Photoshop. I like Photoshop. I like Photoshop just as much as any other man. But there's just something. I don't know if you paint very often with traditional paint. Pretty sure you do with like watercolors and stuff in your cycle. I seem to remember. That's nice. See my values get a bit moderate in here. Kind of sand color. Are you a man or are you a salmon? Did I turn the wetness off? Yeah. Oh, I have dirty mode on. What?
With dirty water.
No, it's like, so if I have a bright white, right, and then I paint into that, and then I paint over here, I now have the colour that I painted into, as in it picks.
Oh,
I no longer
dirty's
have
your
the
brush,
white.
I should go.
Yeah, so you actually have to wash your brush off, because I guess some people use that to their advantage. It seems like a bit of an advanced feature for me, though.
I guess yeah. I wonder if I ever did that when I was painting. Use my dirty brush. I think I did it a couple times.
This is kind of like oil. It's not. It doesn't feel like it. It's supposed to. It's in the acrylic section, but it does not feel like acrylic at all. Right? It feels like oil.
I used to sometimes when I had like a dirty brush, I'd use that dirtiness to paint the background with if I wanted like contrast. Just to like clean my brush off, I paint it into like the background of the picture, and that's probably the furthest I ever went.
Sakura Sensei is addicted to art history. They literally know too much artists. I know their story and how they paint. I think if I just did some studies of artists, I could know quite literally how to do any portrait in their style. From what I heard, Sergeant hard worked during his time. He was a hard worker, yeah, workaholic. You're doing some round brush thing. Just send me what you did before you streamed. Check my Discord.
That's the thing, and when you study an artist, you've got to not only just study their painting, but actually how they painted it.
Sakura
It's like
you gotta figure out noses, man. Just letting the whole face down. I don't know if is that a stylistic choice, because the last thing you sent me with the airbrush, the nose kind of looked a bit more like a nose. But you keep doing this thing where the nose doesn't like it just extends into the eyebrows. It doesn't have the skull has a nasal bone, you see. But good work. You'll fix that. Yeah. Won't take much to fix it. This isn't Anders Zorn study from who's like just joined. Just some hard brush thingy, nothing serious. Yeah, no worries. Looks good. Looks good. That nose is considerably off. You want to be like those cool as hell old Apasta? Do you mean old master? They are cool. They are very, very cool. And that is, it's crazy to me that you as a 13-year-old are looking at old masters and going, those are cool. Because when I was 13, I was probably who, don't get me wrong, he's still cool, but not as cool as.
I think when I was 13, the coolest artist I ever saw was probably like Victor Vasarely or something.
Victor Vasarely.
Remember that fella?
Jesus, well, I do remember Victor Vasarely.
I looked at his work and was like, wow.
Wow. It's an unwieldy tool. It really is. You just, I guess that's good. It's gonna force me to slow down because I have a nasty little habit of just rushing everything. And it really doesn't help me. These kind of cool ground colours. Once drew your English teacher. You hate when kids in your class come to you and brag about how their art is better for no reason. You once drew your English teacher before the holidays and he loved it. Portrait from Y. My art teacher was the only person who I know that shared my digital artwork. I sent her an email and she added it to a private folder for everyone here in the school to see. Oh, that's fun. Let's see if disconnect here. Like videos should be coming way further down. But now that is far too large. I like where it's going, but like it's not too close to the original. Like my studies. I won't be quite as productive as I expected to be this year. School's hard. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You are 13. Being concerned with how productive you are is not my concern. Most people don't start paying attention to that. You're ahead of the curve, my friend.
By a lot. I didn't even start taking art seriously until what? GCSEs.
No, I didn't start until I was like 15. Yeah, so GCSEs.
Yeah.
And I didn't even do the GCSEs to begin with. I did like triple science instead, and then like 3 weeks later, I was like, oh no, I better do art because triple science is the good one.
I think I did triple science, but it meant I couldn't select anything else.
Yeah.
So I meant I could only select art as my other one, and that was it. Because I really wanted to do art and DT, but I really wanted to do triple sciences as well. But it's mostly because in our school, People who pick triple science, I usually just got on better with because they were like actually serious about like learning at the time. I think what it more was like the people who chose the dual science were basically just the PE lads who wanted to do PE in like a language or something, which like they all did. And a lot of the PE lads were a bit boisterous. I didn't really want to be in their classes, so I just stuck with triple. It's a bit of a weird year, our year. Um, Probably should have done DT. Probably would have helped my design a bit, but I guess it was just designing packages, wasn't it? Not really, characters or environments, or whatever.
Yeah, I think to say that GCSE DT would have helped you design is a bit of a stretch. Might have gotten you more interested in design in the long term, so that you go and do stuff.
Yeah, I might have not done concept art if I did that. Though I might have ended up doing like designs for like web design or like packaging or something, which doesn't sound too enticing. I checked my Instagram insights yesterday.
Yeah.
Or this morning, sorry. And I was like, I've been getting a lot of people like following me, but my numbers stayed the same. I like they're odd.
A lot of people unfollowing you at the same time.
And what on average in the past week, a person's unfollowed me. Like one person's unfollowed me a day, so I've lost one follower a day. But I've jumped between gaining 2 followers a day and gaining 1 follower a day. So basically, it's evened out as every other day I've gained a follower. So I was wondering why it was like all these followers were coming through, and then it was just only going up by like 1, and that's because someone follows as well.
And started paying when he was 20, so yeah, don't worry about it. Tyrant 659 started to. Oh, they didn't start paying at 20, but they did start doing PE, and they agreed with me. But the PE lads are
boisterous.
Get this saturated. Ed was telling us that Rachel was browsing old forums and said that she'd love to teach third year because we looked just so good.
I don't know what I want to teach if I was like a lecturer, because like
Third year.
the people in third year are going to be better, aren't they? Because they're in the third year of university, and they're going to put a lot of work in because it's like their final year. But I don't know if there's some kind of reward of teaching like first year and watching people go from like literal like doodlers who didn't really do anything to like at the end of the year having like a few concept designs under their belt and made like big improvements.
True. How about second year? That's a nice middle thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the hassle of first year where you're literally teaching them like basics of the basics. But you also don't. You also get that satisfaction of them making like you're producing some good work and stuff.
Yeah. Because I know like my end of semester 1 project in first year, do that green plane was like, atrocious, right? But since then, I've obviously made like a lot of improvements, and I think if I was like a teacher who saw a full body of students making improvements like that, it'd be very satisfying to know that you've, had an input in that.
There isn't no, sadly.
There isn't a satisfaction.
No, there isn't a full body of students making improvements.
Oh yeah.
But as my dissertation is discovering, That's not on account of the teaching. It's just people putting in the time. I don't know if those eyes too far down, maybe. Sakuga Sensei says, Tom is at concept art school or at the same university as you? Here? With some pair emojis? Yeah, we are at the same.
Yeah. The same establishment. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm gonna try and go for like do a masters here as well, because we've been talking a lot recently, haven't we, Joe, about time and the importance of time. And I think buying myself another year would be quite nice.
Because there's the build up, right, to third year. And
Yeah.
you've gotten ahead of the curve because you've had basically everything I learned as a third year. I immediately go to Discord and go, oh my god, look at this. Right. So it's taken me, like, it took me a while to get into that study groove.
Yeah.
But obviously you've begun it fairly early. But by the time you get to doing a master's, you should be like fully in the swing of it, of like getting a little work.
Yeah. But like an entire another year. But like you were saying the other day, it's like the cost of university really to have a year where you're not going to be working, and you're able to live in a house. And you don't have to have a job, like a full-time job. You can just do it off the loan. It's like quite valuable. So might be worth it.
I don't think people realise how valuable it is, and then we squander that opportunity.
Yeah. It's like because I think I think a person can get 4 years of loan or something before.
I believe so.
So I may as well get my 4 years worth. I may as well get every penny I can get and every second I can get out of that. Because I probably won't pay back 3 years worth of it, right? So if I take on a 4th year, not paying that back either. Was it 9% of your wage over 22.5 grand? Or something like that. I mean, I guess if you went to uni and then sometime in your career you weren't earning over that much, there probably wasn't much point in going to uni. Apart from buying your time, but
obviously there's no downside.
Yeah. Like so, but if you don't hit that, then you just had 3 years of 3 years of higher education if you don't get that.
Can I not have RGB? Can I have... That's much better. That's much better. Who wants stinky RGB in my life? Probably people who actually know what it is. RGB is simply not useful to me. you know who this artist is? Who is Sensei? You're big on the traditional painting. Yeah, I've seen Picasso's paintings from when he was like 50. It's insane. But I think that's why he got into all of this weird stuff. Because if at 15 you can already do like sergeant level portraits, right?
You kind of hit your peak quite.
Then it's like, okay, yeah,
You're gonna get bored.
I'll start looking into more interesting things.
Well, you're saying this the other day, like with life drawing, if you've drawn people all your life and got really, really good at it, you're gonna start wanting to look at like
You're gonna start searching
different
for
kinds of people
interesting people. Yeah. Like,
because you know how to draw a person because you've done it like probably a few thousand times.
you know how to draw your
Average Joe.
physique, you know. So
What am I listening to?
I don't know, what are you listening to?
Put Metallica on, but this is abysmal. Whatever I'm listening to.
But not Metallica.
It's anesthesia pulling teeth.
It's what?
I like that album. That album sounds fun. It came out this year. S&M 2. Oh. Oh, it's a live version by the San Francisco Symphony of like different songs. Don't want any of that. That's not the Metallica I know and love.
Get this drawing.
Metallica released an album in 1996 called Load, and then they released an album in 1997 called Reload.
Incredible. Basically, the story of Van Meegen is that there was a man who wanted to do art, but his father didn't want him to do art, so he made him enter a polytechnic university. He proceeded to study art and became quite talented technically. He asked for a critic of what they thought of his art, and they said they were just a poopy version of his old painting. Man got mad, started having critics, and decided to paint a whole painting in the style of Vermeer and use the exact product Vermeer used to paint with. The critic approved it as Vermeer. His main goal was to show how the critic didn't deserve praise, but he chose to keep the money instead. Interesting. This study is certainly interesting. It's certainly something. on the nose too far down. Yeah, I am. Right. I wish there were a liquefy tool. And I'm pretty sure there is. I have just no idea where it is. What's the grabber? No, it's not. Why am I here? Just grab. Oh. Like, why is that not working?
What's that thing? Can you like have your cursor in one place but it paints in another or something?
No, it samples the colour of wherever you're painting.
Oh.
But my problem is, I thought it was going to be like a mixer push. Because I literally just want to grab this nose. And do that. And then, I guess, also grab this mouth. And
I'll be back in a sec.
that was a crazy story. Yeah, it feels good to be streaming again. I did miss it. I did miss it. I prefer doing something like this. Like this is coming up to an hour on the new software, and it's looking pretty good. I think it's just nice and relaxing for me to try and do this kind of like break from my other work. Keep the brush strokes clean. Here's my issue. The face kind of wonky. Okay, so then it needs to, yeah, okay. It needs to come in there. looks like it's coming out more there. Go back. Can I talk louder? Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, I can. Just don't realise how quiet I am sometimes. But that's okay. Like thinking that this is close to completion. Like literally overexposed this. Okay, this is good. I think we will stop at an hour just so it's like a nice rounded number. And then I might pop on maybe do some pain. Let's see. This guy needs to come out further. Still got a lot to learn about software and painting in general because this is very, very different to how I normally paint. But I'm really, really enjoying it. It's kind of refreshed my enthusiasm for painting. I want to thank you personally, Sakura Sensei, for inspiring me to do better. Put a lot of faith in me. I feel like I want to live up to that. Let's just finish by polishing off these areas. think we are done. That's an hour and 1 minute. My Discord or graphics tablet do you recommend? I personally use the smallest Wacom. It's a pen tablet, it's not a display tablet, because I feel like you don't feel like you need it. A lot of people, they're like, oh, we need the best intros or whatever, when they don't. They're not even willing to put in the time to use that intros. It's kind of ironic. So, I mean, if I can do this with a NAF, like worst tablet that Wacom sells, then it doesn't matter, does it?
I'm back.
Welcome back. I'm about to end stream. Could you reaffirm what I'm saying? I'm saying that I use the worst Wacom, and it doesn't.
I use the same one as you, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what tablet you have.
Yeah.
Just whatever.
I mean, yeah.
Not even.
So it doesn't really matter.
Just yeah.
I think anything other than like the cheapest one is just like adding luxuries. I guess it's not really, you don't really need it at all. It's like you can get a car, and all cars get you from A to B, don't they? But you can get nicer cars, but you don't need it by any stretch of the imagination. So, to say about Wacom tablets,
Yeah.
I think
because
I have a screen tablet, but I don't like it. I don't use it. It's in my bed.
Have a screen tablet?
Yeah, and I hate it. It's like a Huey on, I think.
I have an iPad that I never use. I prefer this.
Yeah. I have a Wacom into a straw, I think it is. The little square one.
Yeah, that's the one.
In fact, I like it so much. I used to have a Wacom into a straw. It broke. I just bought another Wacom into a straw because I was like, well, I like it. I didn't even want to upgrade or anything.
I have been considering getting the slightly better Wacom just for brush rotation, but I figured out you can just rotate your brush.
Yeah. Yeah, I always just use the brush settings in the corner and just rotate it by hand. Which is a bit more annoying, but it's like, I don't mind. I mean, I guess size, if you wanted to like have more, use your shoulder a bit more or something, to draw, you could get a one that maybe a bit bigger than like an A5, but
yeah. So I very much draw with my wrist.
So you're saying that though, I draw mostly with my elbow. Still on an A5 one, unless I'm doing like tiny little things. Yeah.
Lovely.
I think I do. I think I get a Wacom because I had loads of problems with my Huey on. Like a lot of problems. It's just a nightmare. And it had like 6 wires coming out the back of it. Maybe not 6, but I had a lot, and they always got in the way. It was bulky, and it was just a nightmare.
Pit's still a sub? Yeah, you are. Pit, you've arrived at the wrong time. Just about to end the stream. Thanks for coming, though. Thanks for turning up. Mainly Jordy Alba use things now back here. Right, stream's over. I mean, I don't know how I have 8 viewers at the very end of my stream. Fairly interesting, guys. If you don't follow me, and then you can actually turn up at the beginning of the stream. I feel like it'd be a great help. Right, okay. Ending the stream. That's the final product. If you didn't know already, it's a study of Anders Zorn and Anders Zorn painting. My only issue is I don't know how to use Corel effectively and actually import an image. But I assure you that this does not look like the Anders Zorn version because I am not very good at painting. Or I don't. You probably have an underdrawing, although I'm not sure. You know, we'll see. Right. Thanks for coming and have a great day. This is
Bye-bye.
Corel, yes, bye bye.